Like, I never seen Val di Sole like this. Massive holes, like, I do that, but it's crazy.
Welcome back to another edition of Long Views by Misspent Summers, the audio zine that brings you a unique insight into the world of mountain bike racing. My name is Archie, and in this week's episode we will be diving into all the action from the 2024 UCI Downhill World Cup in Val di Sole, Italy. Val di Sole, home to the Black Snake, well known as one of the most brutal and technical downhill tracks in the world, took no prisoners last weekend. The combination of what was already a ridiculously difficult track and terrible weather made for some of the worst conditions we've seen in a race for a while. That being said, despite the battlefield-like track conditions, Val di Sole put on arguably the most exciting race of the season so far. It was a weekend filled with drama, excitement, and produced some truly inspiring stories. Sven Martin, Misspent Summers photographer and race fanatic, was in and around the pits after the race and caught up with some of the riders, including World Cup winners Amaury, Pierron and Tahnée Seagrave. Keep listening to hear what they had to say. Before we get underway with the interviews though, here are the results. In the men, it was Amaury, Pierron, Dakotah, Norton, Iles, Troy Brosnan and Loic Bruni. In the women, it was Tahnée Seagrave, Marine Cabarrou, Monica Rasnick, Lisa Bowman and Vali Hole. In the junior men, it was Max Alran, Asa Vermette, Milan Falke, John Mazel and Luc Wayman, and in junior women it was Eliana Hulsebosch, Sasha Ernest, Aris van Lerben, Ellis Vegby and Kel Cushman. Tahnée Seagrave secured her first win since her difficulties with concussion. It has been quite the journey for her, but the hard work has finally paid off. Despite the horrible conditions that the riders were faced with, Tahnée looked composed and was able to keep her cool right to the very end. Congratulations Tahnée, it's been an inspiring journey to follow. Here is a voice note from Tahnée.
Thank you. Yeah, I had the I had the worst day on Friday actually. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but I just was not in the headspace. It doesn't happen to me very often. I think it was a big few weeks with Hardline and Leogang and the crash. And yeah, I think I was pretty mentally exhausted. And for somewhere like Val di Sole, like you say, it's the toughest it's been in a long time. So I just was not ready to risk a lot that day. And I think at the time I was quite hard on myself. But I also just, got to the end of the day and I was like, look, you're allowed to have a bad day. It's not the end of the world. Tomorrow is a completely new day. Everyone starts from zero. And yeah, I think I just wanted to... After that shit day, I just really wanted to prove that I belonged in that top 10, and yeah, I wanted to prove to myself and everyone in the team that I'm there to put on a fight. Weirdly enough, I haven't actually shed any tears yet, which is crazy because I think the whole team did. It's quite a surreal feeling for me. I think it hasn't quite sunk in yet, but at the same time feels weirdly normal. I guess I've been dreaming about it for so long and I believed in myself so strongly that, yeah, it kind of, I don't know, and it wasn't expected on that day, so weird, but yeah, everyone got super emotional, but I think Tony for sure tops the charts on who cried and drank the most. Yeah, it's really interesting because obviously Jackson didn't hurt himself on a massive feature, it was just because he was pushing and he likes to go fast, and at the end of the day it's a race, so most of us racers can't just, we don't have that switch to switch off. When it's go time we go and we want to win, so yeah, it's a hard one with Hardline because that type of riding really just, I don't know, when I was younger, I used to send it down the steepest shit I can find and the biggest jumps, and that's what kind of made me feel alive. I love racing and I love pushing myself, but Hardline, it just really puts you out of your comfort zone. And at the end of the day, it's not so much about me, but, and about what I achieve. It's more about having the presence there and showing what's possible for the next generation. I think that's so much more than, I don't know, World Cup season, or I don't know, it just feels like a massive part of history that will eventually be history. I feel like it's a necessary step, and with the profile I have, I think it makes sense for me to be at somewhere like Hardline to show what's possible. But yeah, I mean, I still get to World Cups and shit myself, it's just a different type of fear. So but yeah, I love going to Hardline. Hopefully more girls will see that it's possible, and so soon I don't know, we'll see. But I think everything is definitely going in the right direction.
It's great to see Tahnée back on top, and I hope that she continues on this upward trajectory. From one inspiring story to another, it was only a year ago that Amaury Pierron was undergoing surgery to fix his broken back, but last weekend we saw the Amaury of old. With the combination of the brutal track, horrific conditions and the massive winning margin, it could well have been the best race run of the past decade. Truly a superhuman feat. Over to Amaury and Sven.
Fuck, I love that.
Amaury, what are you watching? Tell me again.
The UCI post.
You watching the other guys at your splits?
Yeah, they not
happy.
Not smiling. Troy is okay, but Finn and Dak, you're not smiling. It's not funny.
Do you are you aware that you did something pretty groundbreaking and legendary this race? I mean, there's lots, like the last year. But let's just talk about today. Like, this was one of the most special World Cup race runs we've seen in it's up there in the last 10 years.
I have no idea if it was like one of the best or whatever.
Amaury, this track, Val di Sole, these conditions this year, the margin. There's so many things which make this one of the most legendary race runs of modern times.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like this week's, like I never seen Val di Sole like this. Massive holes. Like I do that, but it's crazy. Ruts, roots, wet rocks. Massive holes. It's been really destroyed. So technical and don't know. Felt good. Try to make my way through the weekend and build my weekend, and can be more proud about it. I was today so stressed. It was a nightmare.
For sure, you were up there, and the conditions got worse and worse and worse, and then they have the extra 10-minute break, and it gets worse again. I heard you did get on a phone call to ask about track conditions, but that was before you saw Finn and... So you didn't even know at that point that Finn and Troy could go green.
I didn't know about Troy and Finn. So when I was on my way up, I just saw Dak's time and Loïc's was behind. And I was like, okay, so Dak did a good time if Loïc is behind, because Loïc is always good.
Do you know, like when you see Dak's time on the track, do you know what that means for how fast you have to go? When you see that the time is this, you know your speed on the track.
Because it was nearly the same time as my semi.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, it's wet, so it's a good time, but I feel good, and I was pretty sure I was faster this morning than my semi. So I was like, okay, but it was just even worse. Like the condition from this afternoon compared to this morning was way worse.
Yeah.
Like all the routes were slick, the rocks. So I was like, my goal was just to make the first wood section.
Yeah.
Like clean, and when
you were told to chill on the top section, was what the boys said. They said to chill there.
They said no,
because
I just asked
them
like, "Oh, the condition," and they told me it's good.
They were lying.
They all lied. And then I asked my mechanic, "Do the guys get in? Do they get close to the times or get better times?"
Yeah.
But it was at the time of Luca. Like I didn't ask right before my run.
Yeah.
So it was maybe
so you didn't actually
20 minutes.
So you didn't even actually know yet that the guys
were starting to
go green.
Yeah, they got good, but not at all.
So he was also lying.
My mechanic was lying.
Everyone's lying to you.
Fuck. And then I felt it. I felt he was lying all that.
Oh my god.
And
that was so cool.
Forgot everything. Just stick to your proper plan. Just do your proper run. Like main goal was, as I told you, was the first piece of food with the roots, everything. And then I got that clean. I was like, okay, no, I know all my lines are clean. I safe, so I was like, just felt good, comfortable on the track and
But then, I mean, to go to 4 seconds, bro, in that toughest part of the track, like my eyes are kind of bad, but I can see long for easy good. I actually had to double check and take a picture of the screen, and I'm like, it can't be 4 because 4 is impossible. There's no way, and it was fucking 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's insane.
And the thing is, normally I'm gonna say this. normally when you ride a run like that, it looks like you look a bit like gnarly, aggressive, loose, but you look really in control to get that 4 second.
Yeah, I was really composed, like
composed. That's the word.
Because last week I was so tired and tried to push and just making mistakes and ended up like 13th.
Yeah, it looked like your bike was hanging up last week, and this week it wasn't hanging up. It was smooth.
Like this, like we changed everything on the bike.
Yeah.
Like and we changed it 3 times. Like how the bike works this weekend.
So you have to have a weekend like last weekend to have a weekend like this weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to go the wrong way and then change massively, maybe.
I think I needed like to go through a bit everything. It's just part of the process for me.
Yeah.
Because coming back from that injury, starting slow, making my first weekend, like finishing my runs was okay, done, and then getting back to speed. Next run ended up 5th in Poland, was really good, and then the next step was to push, to play with the top boys, and push too much. But I think I needed that, you know, like to find that balance, because I was totally lost. I still lost. Maybe not, because that week was just the right balance.
Yeah.
And it helped me because truck was super technical, and compared to Foreliam or Leogang, you need to be flat out.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, maybe I learned something here. I don't know. But at least I felt like I needed to be flat out, and I felt like I just needed to be clean in my lines and push where I could.
Yeah.
And honestly, it felt so good. It felt like back in the days, like my first World Cup wins, like in 2018. I felt great, clean, and just pushing where I should and take it easy when I should. And this one was kind of like this, so.
Yeah.
So
what you're saying is you need the hardest tracks in the world with the worst conditions, and then that's what you want.
This is so good. This is downhill, bro.
It is downhill, bro, but I'd rather have a dry fast track than a wet, sketchy fast track.
It's way better. Dry is so sketchy because you need to go so fast.
Ah, true.
And this is not, dry is not hard, so everybody's going fast.
Everyone's going fast.
And here, if you miss a line or whatever, you're done. So you need to be super composed. It's like music, you know?
Does it just like music? That was a perfectly directed symphony. You know, I was just worried it was like, for you, you were going to, especially after the first split, I knew you would win, but the other option is you weren't going to get second or third. I was like, he's going to win or he's going to crash. And so fucking thank you for not crashing.
Yeah.
And Dylan had a great run, and the brothers fucking
so good. Like for the team,
for the team, and Pom Pom as well. She's doing amazing.
Pom on the podium, Dylan P8, Max winning the junior. Till is in the mix.
You're gonna have to work on your scrubs off that jump, eh? Max is the long flyaway, bro.
But I can't. It's not the same category.
You can't risk.
I don't even try.
You're now old rider, right?
Fuck. You know, old school straight. I wish I could have the same steez as him. Like both of them are so fucking nice to watch.
Yeah.
But I'm just not. So I have to accept.
You have to accept. Well, you know, winning a World Cup's not a bad consolation prize.
Fuck yeah. Sure.
All right, let's get on the pasties.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
We had one, so.
And now we got a couple big races ahead. We got Leger and Andorra. It's good to be where you are now, and now you can kind of focus again on the big picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, need to rest, and then keeping the fun alive and keeping the pace alive. We'll see how it goes on drier race, you know, everything.
Yeah.
So.
All right, bro.
We'll see. We keep building.
We keep building. Anyway, like I said, historical World Cup race run. Like your 3-4 seconds today is as up there as Kovaric's 12 seconds that 1 year in Fort William.
Yeah, it's not the same era for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like
this year,
you don't get more than a second in this era, you know.
Yeah, Loic did some great runs.
Yeah.
Like
The whole year.
Leogang and every time he's here.
Yeah.
Quali semi-final.
Yeah.
Either he crash, either he's in top 3 or top 2.
Anyway.
So it's like crazy.
All right, you need to get out there, join the party.
I do.
I think it's safe to say that most of us were impressed that Amaury returned to racing at all this year, but as he has slowly got back up to speed this season, he has looked increasingly dangerous. This historic win in Val di Sole now places him 4th in the series overall. Now Sven chats to Amaury's teammate and friend Myriam Nicole, who has also returned to racing this year, having spent some time away recovering from a concussion. She has been easing her way back into things in 2024, but much like Amaury, last weekend we saw the pom-pom of old back between the tape, earning herself a 4th place. Here is Myriam.
You just told me something now which really hits home. This is only your 2nd race where you're doing the 3-run format.
Yeah,
Everyone else has gone, this will be like their 10th race.
Yeah, I'm really wondering how did they do last year. I mean, hat off to all the racers because it was even harder having 2 races on final.
Yeah.
So and definitely this is a tough challenge and I still need to learn from it. So before, back in the days, I would not be ready too early, but at the second time, even in Leogang, that I feel ready at my peak a bit too early, and then I get tired. So this is learning the process,
and you're not at your optimum strength because you come back. We can see you in the mix for the win, but you still, you haven't had a strong training block for off season.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't do enough bench press to hold on Val di Sole.
Val di Sole.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not an excuse, but I feel like I need to race more to learn how to deal with this. And I was so disappointed, and my coaches, Nix and Aurélie, and everybody were like, are you kidding me? How can you be disappointed with this? You're still learning, and this is part of the process.
But you wouldn't be a winner if you weren't disappointed on the outcome today. And if you were happy with the outcome today, then I'd be worried about stepping on the top step.
Yeah, I mean, last weekend, 3rd place felt like a victory, and just 4th place felt like a disaster. So it's good.
But you could tell your splits were so different because you were within touch for the win. So it's not really a 4th; it's 4th with the potential for a race win.
Yeah, and I really felt like I was riding good, and just not the good pace today, and it's completely fine. Still my 61 podium. And happy, and Amaury made my day, so it's the best.
And not just Amaury.
Yeah, and Max. I went into the lift and I showed him, I filmed him from the gondola.
His race run.
It's I'm so proud of you, Max, and I really like my kids. I mean, I've seen them grow, so I'm so happy for them, and they are so different, and they are so cool to work with them. It
makes you guys feel young, huh?
Honestly, to live with them, to be with them around, it helps a lot.
That's why I hang out with you guys. It makes me feel young. Now, a while ago, you were talking about this being your last year. Would you still hold yourself true to that, or do you think, as the year's unfolding, you want to give it a full year again, or what?
Yeah, I will. I definitely think that I will stop on my when I feel like I have nothing in the tank, and this weekend showed me that I still have some left. It could be possible. I don't know. There is no answer, sorry.
The story will be written at a later date. All right. Last one.
Again, it's great to see another top-level athlete return to form, and I'm stoked to see Pom Pom back up to speed. Come race day, Dakotah Norton looked like the man to beat. He flew down the Black Snake and set what looked to be the winning time by a big margin. However, Amaury's superhuman run meant he was forced to settle for 2nd place. Dakotah's winning moment is coming, but it just wasn't last weekend. Here is Dakotah chatting with Sven.
Dak, this is almost a very different kind of interview. You killed it out there, and your time is coming. I mean, that was a great run regardless of anything. You came into the hot seat with a massive margin and looked like it was yours for a while.
These are good problems to have.
Good problems.
A younger me would have dreamed of this day. Overall, I think Amaury is so good at being last man down and channeling that energy to go above and beyond what seems like is capable. And
He's willing to almost risk it because he's so hungry to get
We
back.
literally, me and Troy said this. He was either going to do or die.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, and
for sure.
we've known that but he's good at that. He's really good at that.
Summers.
Winning a World Cup, going down that early. I mean, I had a mechanical yesterday, and it put me way back in the semi. I don't want to win a race. I was really worried. I want to win a race more than anything in this world, but I don't want to win it like that.
Okay.
So second place. This is the worst second place in history. But overall, it's really good to be consistently there, consistently having great runs. I know I've had fucking some issues this year, like we all have.
I think everyone has, except for Loic maybe.
Yeah, well, they're pretty good. So just continue to push forward, and with the new team and a new bike, we're only 4 races into the season, and we're figuring it out. And I made a lot of like quick changes that I bet on today, and it paid off. And we're learning every race. So we just continue to go forward.
Like you said, a non-asterisk win as your first win would be way better. So it'd be that much sweeter, huh?
Yeah, I want to go down at the end with the top boys and win one. So we'll keep working towards that dream, and that's what I'll wake up thinking about, and we'll keep going for it.
When I saw Loic up there, I was like, oh, maybe these boys check the weather and this team tactics,
Yeah.
skip a few semi-points and then go there.
Well, I knew it was going to be close once I seen Loic come down. Obviously, he got rattled pretty early and then wasn't able to find the flow. But I rode with Finn at Schladming, and I knew he was going to be unreal in the wet, and I was really worried. But I didn't see Amaury stepping up that much just because he hasn't had like that level of confidence.
Yeah.
Like he's been working his way back.
Last weekend it went the other way for him,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, he did it, so you can't take anything away from that.
Well, you're battling the greats. Look at the boys on the podium with you, and that, like you said, would have been one of your childhood dreams.
Dude, 5 years ago, I would have laughed at you. So we'll just keep doing it. We'll keep working and stay humble and work hard.
Top dog on the team too. That's
it's always a good one.
At dinner.
Yeah.
Right, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
There are huge positives to take away from a race run like Dakotah's, so I'm sure you will be fired up and more eager than ever to get onto the top step in the coming races. A slightly frustrated Finn Iles speaks with Sven now. He's been on the podium for 3 out of the 4 races so far this season, and that second Elite World Cup win continues to evade him. Over to Sven with Finn.
Okay. Dude, that racing out there, I'm so happy you showed it could be done. You were up, and then there must have been one little mistake off camera.
There's a lot of mistakes everywhere.
Shit.
It was not my day for speed.
It looked like it was, man.
It felt good. Like I was smooth, but I was just overthinking it, and I wasn't letting my bike work, and I just felt like a lot of what I was doing was just like good riding, but not what you need to win a World Cup. And like obviously the times show that when Amaury smoked us, but
yeah, but you only lost it in one sector, so
yeah, I mean I lost it in one sector, but everywhere else I felt it was great. But I still just think I had the feeling this morning in a way that was like kind of different to like, oh, I'm riding good. It was like, yeah, my brain is there, the biking's good, everything's great. And then at the top I was warming up and it was like kind of raining, and I was like,
is that mental doubt creeping in then or what?
Exactly. I was like so worried about crashing in like the first right-hand turn of the woods, and literally all weekend I was flat out through it, and I was like just this weird like thing coming into my brain. And then as soon as I got through that, I was like, oh, sick. But then I like overanalyzed the track. I was like, all right, brake here, do this line, and
the track's got to look different because it's got to be shiny, and
yeah,
you haven't ridden that all week. So.
Yeah, for sure. And like the consistency's great, and I'm happy to be third, and like we're on the podium 3 of 4 races, and like my podium hit rate right now is pretty awesome, but it's just really frustrating when you feel like you have it every single time you go to step out and you just can't quite fucking buy it. And like I want more than this, and it's a little frustrating, but I think we're getting there. It's just a little slower than I want it to be. So I think I need to be less hard on myself, a little bit more happy with my riding, and just like slowly let myself build to where I know I can be this season. And sometimes you just like you're just people are just better than you. And today Amaury was better than everybody by a lot.
And within the team, do you guys have any little fun thing like the fastest racer picks the next hotel room, or like do you guys do anything like that?
We don't have anything interesting like that. We normally just all get our own hotel rooms, and they're always pretty much the same. Laurent does a good job, Tim does a good job, and it's good quality throughout the team. In Léger is the next race. We stayed there the last 5 years, and I have my room and Loic has his room. So it's like we have our spots.
You will have different wings of the house now.
He's got the left wing and I got the right wing, and no, nothing crazy, because I feel like if that was the way it was, the last 4 years would have gone in lowest direction a lot of times. That being said, I think I've been on the podium like 75% of the races since the start of 2022. So
Wow.
we're consistent.
Stats guy.
Stats guy.
Are you the new Troy Brosnan?
I mean,
No, I'm just joking.
that would be a nice thing to be because Troy's really fast. But I would like to win more races.
Yeah.
So maybe next round, eh?
You and Dak, your time is coming.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
Consistency is key to earning those elusive wins, and he seems to have found a formula that allows him to lay down a strong performance every race weekend. I'm sure it won't be long before we see Finals piece it all together and take another win. Talking of consistency, Sven now catches up with Mr. Consistency himself, Troy Brosnan. Troy managed a 4th place in Val di Sole, yet another podium to add to his enormously long list. He was one of the few riders who looked almost comfortable on the track last weekend. Here is more from Troy.
It's a couple hours after the race. People have had their little party and celebrations, but it almost looks like a bit of PTSD out here. Everyone's like, it's a different vibe. You guys have been back to back so many weeks, and I mean, it was a battle zone out there, Troy. It's not like any other World Cup we've just finished.
Yeah, it was. The track was hard from the first practice session we had back on Thursday, but I really enjoyed it. And then, for finals with that bit of rain that came through for the last guys, it was just like, it was tough. Like, I was actually pretty scared dropping in, and I'm not normally that scared. I just knew that it was going to be like so fast paced still, but everything was going to be slippery, especially in that first like split or 2 splits. So I don't know, I rode really well and really happy with it, but I had so many mistakes and bobbles and was offline here, and I've gone through the run in my head a few times and wish I could have done more, but at the same time I rode fast. So yeah, it's a bit of a hard feeling. Like, I'm happy, but at the same time, like, I kind of really wanted to like win this race. Like,
but I'm going to say it's like a bit of a chess match. You can't just have the run you want to do when it's conditions like this, especially for you guys. Yet you were you and Finn were the only guys, and obviously Amaury, that showed it could be done and were in touch and could go green on a vastly different conditions. And it's almost like that misty top was, although it was an easier track, it was almost like more treacherous than the techie middle. I don't know.
What happened was like the top corners were pretty slippery, like the bike part ones, and then it was like that one section just before the flat rocky steppy thing, like just after the first split. That was like the
little crux.
Like that. I saw Amaury go through there in the last practice run when it got a little bit wet, and he was like on another mission. I was like, I don't think I can do that. But
he did say he had his last practice run was a really good one.
Yeah, it was insane. I watched him go through there because I crashed there in my last practice run, so I was looking, and I saw him go through, and I was like, man, he's either going to win by 3 seconds or have a huge crash, which he won by more than 3 seconds.
But I think that he was never going to get second or third. I don't think.
Nah,
it was like you said.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I'm pretty happy. We're just kind of like just chilling and debriefing on what we can do better. There's always little bits that you can do. So, we're also a little bit tired from a couple of big weeks at the same time. So, it's all smiles and pretty happy with it. And obviously being on pace feels amazing. And we just got a couple of weeks, and then we go to Leger, which is another awesome track.
A couple of weeks, you guys from far away, is that something enough time to go home, or what is your home here if you don't go home?
Yeah, I mean, it is enough time to go home, but we kind of plan to really, I guess, push hard. So I'm going to stay overseas and keep on the same time zone and train and do some testing and whatnot, and just try and keep the speed really fast for Leger. And then obviously after Leger, I'll go home and have a baby. So yeah, we kind of put all the eggs into the basket for Leger and hope it works out.
Eggs in the basket. Quite the pun there with all the babies.
Yeah, true, yeah.
And not just you, Aaron, as well. Looking forward to going home to see your little family, your young family, eh?
Yeah, that'll be nice. I go home, I got less than 2 weeks at home, but it's my daughter's first birthday, so it'd be good to go home and celebrate with the family for sure.
Yeah, Ziggy's first birthday was in Tassie. She enjoyed that one. Got some Bluntstones. Yeah. All right, well, hey, Troy, I've got to say, as you get older and you have a family, or you're about to have a family, people is there newfound motivation, or is it like responsibility, so you don't want to take risks. But whatever you're doing this year, it's like it's you've got the formula dialed.
Yeah, I mean, it's given me like a new kind of, I don't know, like enjoyment of life. You know, we tried to have a kid for a fairly long time and it wasn't happening. So when it finally, I guess, set the seed, it was pretty awesome. And
set the seed,
yeah.
all the puns, bro.
You like that, didn't you? I'm already a dad.
You're so romantic, Troy. I set the seed.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna slow down anytime soon, and nor does Emma want me to, or the little one coming, I reckon. So we just keep attacking and keep having fun riding my bike, and I'm pretty good at staying on my bike. So as long as I can do that, we'll have a bit longer of a career ahead.
There we go. Awesome.
Yeah.
It must be tricky for those riders who call the Southern Hemisphere home, not being able to just pop home and being away from loved ones for extended periods of time. Maybe in the future we might see some more racing heading down under, something which I'm sure the likes of Troy would be stoked to see. Tony Seagrave, FMD Racing's team manager and more importantly Tahnée's dad, must be incredibly proud. It's been a long and bumpy road back to the top for Tahnée, and he has been by her side every step of the way. Here is Sven and Tony.
Tony, it's a long one to unpack. It's a similar storyline really to the Commencal Muc-Offs, and it's all about the long road back and never giving up and belief. And you might be team owner, team director, team everything, but you're also the father.
Yeah.
And Tahnée's been through a lot to get.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been through a lot. You know what? It doesn't even matter if she didn't win today. Like, we all know that. But it's like, it's just testament to this focus and the dedication and the self-belief.
Yeah, I mean, we've got an amazing team here. Like, I'm not sure people realise how good everyone is behind the scenes, and that's the biggest thing. You know, giving Tahnée the platform to do whatever she wants, and we literally don't care whether she wins, loses or whatever. As long as she's happy doing what she's doing, then that is the platform that gives her, hopefully, well, we've seen it today, but the success that she's got right now.
Yeah.
And yes, it's been long. Fuck me, man, I cried like shit today. You know, it's been a long journey back, and you know,
it's just to that the sport is just like, in the year that her and Amaury have sort of been injured and making their way back, the sport has just kept like going leaps and bounds.
Dude.
So you can't get back to where you were.
Dude, it's not only that. You look at the kids that are coming through, and then you look at the 14, 15, 16-year-old kids that are coming through now.
Yeah.
The skills that they've got, we have never seen before.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's the likes of Jackson, you know, and all of the others that can do all of this shit that no one's been able to do before.
Yeah.
We've got some talented bike riders coming through,
which is kind of, your program is almost sort of embrace that more than any other program, I'd say, in the elite pits.
Yeah, well, you have to, and you have to believe in what you're doing, and then you have to believe in the athlete that you've got, and then hopefully one day it will turn into days like today.
Yeah.
You know, and we've never given up on Tahnée. You know,
and to do it on I'm not even going to say arguably, because it is the fucking toughest track.
Mate, were you
on
here
the
yesterday?
And then today again, like you know, the women forever have harder track conditions. They had
they did. They genuinely had a tough time today. I was expecting more from Phoebe, actually. You know, I think she was the one yesterday that we were like, you know, maybe Phoebe can podium. And then, and honestly, Tahnée was written off, like totally written off. But
I wonder what she thinks when she listens to this one.
She'll say the same thing. Okay. But when you write Tahnée off, it's the worst thing you could ever do.
There we go.
You know, and that's the thing. You know, you've seen it in the past. You know, when she's 12, 15 seconds back, when it comes race time, she can flick a switch and that's it, go time.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, I am genuinely gutted for Phoebe today because I thought she was going to podium as well.
Yeah. Well, just keep cracking on with what you guys are doing.
What we're drinking now.
Well, yeah. A little bit of the interview, you can hear a little bit of that. You can tell it's a red wine slow. You know?
Yeah.
But I got to say, also, I don't want to take anything away from Tahnée, but looking at Luca and Troy and Tahnée on the new bikes, the new bike's got to be quite something.
Oh, no, it is. And what Canyon have done is next level. And they're giving the athletes the platform to perform. And that's all we've ever wanted. You know, we've given them the staff to perform and the platform to perform, and all we've ever wanted is the bike to perform. And they've literally pulled it out of the ballpark now. You know, and it's insane. And they're there every step of the way. They're there to help.
Awesome. Well, that's what it takes. Building dynasties, and it's not even about one season or one race.
No, it's about the future.
Nice one.
As Sven said, not to take anything away from Tahnée's awesome performance, but that new Canyon bike has been doing bits this season. Tahnée, Luca and Troy are right back up to the pointy end of things, and it's great for the sport when those three are competing for wins. It's well known that riders do not turn up to Val di Sole expecting an easy race, but last weekend the Black Snake took it to a whole nother level. This makes what all the race winners achieved all that much more impressive. Thank you to Sven for providing us with a candid and entertaining insight into the world of racing as always. If you're a fan of what he does, then please head over to his photographer page on our website. Just type misspentsummers.com/Sven. We'd like to also thank all of those that are tuning in and listening to our long views scenes. We really enjoy putting all of our race coverage together, and we love that people are enjoying it. Please drop us a message or email with any feedback you have, as we are always looking to improve what we do. Make sure you check out the scrap section of our website, where we upload all kinds of stuff like interviews, videos, book extracts, product reviews, and other random things. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our weekly newsletter. It will mean that all things mountain biking will go straight into your inbox once a week-ish. And lastly, don't forget that if you like what we do at Misspent Summers, you can help support us by spreading the word, buying anything from our store, or simply hitting the support button at the top of our website. Keep an eye on our YouTube and Spotify for more views-related content in the coming months. This weekend, we've got a brand new venue for the Enduro World Cup in Combloux, and the following weekend, we've got the UCI Downhill World Cup. And just a reminder that we will be hosting another photo exhibition pop-up event on the UCI High Street, so please do stop by and say hi and have a coffee. The pop-up will be open from the 29th of June until the 7th of July, so if you're in the area, please do stop in. Hopefully see you there in the coming days. Anyway, my name is Archie, and this has been your 2024 Val di Sole Downhill World Cup recap. I hope you've enjoyed this installment of Long Views, and I look forward to either seeing you in UCI or speaking to you in the next one. Cheers.